Ladies and gentlemen, holy smoke. The 14 points memorandum of understanding has been leaked out by Bloomberg. It's all over the internet right now. And I think it's very important we take a look at it in detail and find out. So what have actually was agreed between US and Iran? What's the implication to the long-term security of the world? And more importantly, what's the implication to the world economy, inflation, and stock market? So watch until the end. So the peace memorandum of understanding between US and Iran is supposed to be signed on Friday. I don't know how Bloomberg got it, and they got a draft document of it, and it's been leaked out all over the internet right now. And basically, US has lost the war, and Iran have won big time. And unfortunately, there's a bigger loser, which is Israel. So this has serious implication, not just to Middle East, but also to the world's peace and maybe even the stock market in the long run. But let me give you the full breakdown of what has been agreed. And by the way, the MOU has already been signed. So there is no backing out of it. Of course, people can just tear up the document and things like that. But at least it's a document that's been already being signed digitally. Now they will proceed to sign it physically on Friday. So what was Trump's objective for this whole 14-point MOU? Well, number one, he says that he wants to make sure Iran abandon his nuclear ambition and he needs to reestablish US presence and credibility in the Middle East region. Most importantly, he wants the Straits of Hormuz to be opened up again. And no obstacle, no blockade, no tolls for this use of this Straits of Hormuz. And this one he said, but he didn't, I don't think is in it, which is he wants to take care of Israel long-term security as well. So let me give you point by point what was in the MOU, and this is point number one. Point number one, an immediate end to the war. So they want a permanent ceasefire at all fronts, including Israel and Lebanon, which is Hezbollah. And both sides pledged that they will not use any more, both sides pledged that they will not have any more hostility towards each other. And Iran is allowed to continue with their regime. And this is clearly a key concession because this was what Donald Trump agreed that to be the original objective. So basically, an end to the war. Point number two, they must respect each other's sovereignty. Now, I don't think US care whether Iran respect their sovereignty, but now US has stated black and white that they will respect Iran's sovereignty, they respect their territorial integrity, and they will not interfere with their internal affairs. Basically, will change Washington's law objective for a very long time. I'm talking a decade-long objective to try to implement a regime change in Iran. And this basically is a big gift, GIVE, not GIFT. It's a big giving in to Iran because they have been trying to change regime for decades. And now he says, okay, from now on, we will abandon the regime change objective that we have always been pursuing for many decades. Point number three, this is a short form agreement. They want to go to a long form agreement within 60 days. They will do a ceasefire right now. They'll negotiate within 60 days a long form agreement under supervision, and the final agreement to be signed within 60 days is extendable, and I'm very sure it will be extended because it's not so easy to agree to those things. So this is basically kicking the can down the drain, and I've seen many short form agreements and that state that they will have a long form agreement that essentially did not happen. So I think that there won't be a long form agreement and they'll just fall back to the short form agreement, which is the MOU that they have signed already. Point number four, US will lift their naval blockade and allow all shipping to resume. Iran will also unblock their blockade as well. So both sides agree on this one. The US troops will be fully withdrawn after the final agreement has been signed. So Iran will reopen the maritime route for the Straits of Hormuz, and they will also do mine clearing operation to their best ability and make sure that the Strait of Hormuz is clear of mines. By the way, this is an attempt to clear to their best ability because mine clearing is a very big operation. So this is something that is the most important term in the whole MOU. Point number 6, the US will fund a $300 billion financing deal for Iran to allow economic reconstruction of Iran. And this is the biggest and most controversial term in the deal because how this $300 billion come about is potentially US taxpayers' money, and they will lend it to Iran to allow them to reconstruct their economy. Now, some people say this is lending, not a big deal, right? Yes, it's a big deal. $300 billion is a big deal because this only happens to losers in a war, that they will give repatriations to the winners. Now, in the form of a $300 billion financing. Now, some people say if the interest rate is very high, US can make money out of it and things like that. That's possibly true as well. But this will be the most controversial term in the entire deal. And my guess is that if Trump is smart, he will try not to put $300 billion himself and maybe try to get IMF or World Bank or something like that to come in. But again, we don't know how this is going to be executed until 60 days later. But this one has already raised the eyebrow of many US legislators. And this point number 7 is also a big deal because they will now remove all sanctions, all sanctions on Iran, on UN sanctions, trade-related sanctions, and secondary sanctions as well. Basically, now Iran can now access the global market. People can do business with Iran right now, and this will be potentially the term that will help Iran to get strong again. So it's funny because US under Trump has said that they want to be MAGA, right? Make America great again. Well, I just want to say you're making Iran great again. Okay, instead of MAGA, become MEGA. Okay, MEGA, make Iran great again. For sure, Iran, after you get all this money, what do you think they'll do with the money? On the topic of nuclear, very interestingly, Iran will commit to have no new nuclear weapon. They will not build any nuclear weapon. And this has been consistent, they've been saying all the while. And whatever they wanted to do will be the status quo they'll be allowed to do, which is to pursue their civilian nuclear ambition. There were no terms inside the MOU that says that they need to dilute their nuclear from, I don't know, 60% all the way down to 5% or so, kind of enrichment level. So actually, this one is a very dangerous gift that US is giving to Iran. And this is something that will get Israel very, very upset because the whole purpose of the war was to get them off their nuclear ambition, and none was achieved. And point number 10, 11, there'll be immediate economic relief for Iran. There'll be waivers for crude oil, petrochemical export to be resumed with banking support, and tens of billions of dollars of frozen funds will now be given back to Iran to control over the spending. And that's really going to help Iran rebuild the country. And my only worry is what they're going to do with the money. So point number 12 and 13 is, first, they will have a sanction relief, the oil exports to resume, the funds will then be unlocked and given back to Iran, and then the negotiation will start for the 60-day one. So the implementation sequence clearly favors Iran. Point number 14, they will get UN Security Council endorsement over this MOU. So this MOU deal will go to UN to get UN resolution approved to give Iran legitimacy over what US is going to give in. And once you do that, it's very difficult to make the deal hard for future US president or administration to reverse. So this one is clearly a big big gift by US to Iran as well. So of all the things that's giving, what the hell does, US get to end the ceasefire? he get the Straits of Hormuz to be opened up again, and there'll be no more prolonged war. The inflation comes down, and the economic activity resumes globally, and the Republicans hopefully will not lose any more seats than necessary in the midterm elections in November for Donald Trump. So now clearly the big loser is not really US, because even $300 billion is not a big deal to US, but the big deal is to Israel. So right now, Donald Trump is very angry with Israel, especially the Prime Minister, for keeping on with their attacks towards Lebanon, Hezbollah. And he basically wants that to stop. So hostility now between Iran and Israel will remain, and now this deal will allow Iran to get stronger over time. It may take 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. What the hell do you think will happen to Israel in time to come? So all the Iranian influence over Hezbollah, Houthis, and possibly even in Gaza as well, will remain preserved, and nothing in the deal sets to curtail the influence over it. And the problem of nuclear is now not dealt with, and kick the can down the 60-day, which in my opinion will never come to a deal. So Israel is the biggest loser. So very clearly, with this deal, Iran will get stronger with a $300 billion reconstruction fund, and they could now build a stronger economy, stronger military, and spread their regional influence. And that's it for Israel. So, people who are supporting the deal basically say that you need this deal in order to prevent a wider regional war and a destruction to world economy, and it stabilizes the global market. And it is true. You look at oil prices. Oil prices right now has fallen, WTI to $75, Brent crude to $76 and falling significantly. And inflation is basically now under control. But the critic says that now you are making a monster. Okay, we have been crippled for many years. Now you are helping it to recuperate and get stronger in future. Well, I think Donald Trump needs to cut losses. He basically entered a bad deal with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and he has cut losses. Yes, he has lost big time, but if he had gone down this path and not cut this deal, it would have been a bigger loss. Yes, it's very embarrassing, but he's very thick-skinned. I don't think he cares about embarrassment. And right now, they have really ended the war. In many cases, you have won the battle and lost the war kind of thing. No, they have lost the battle and lost the war as well. So they have clearly allowed the Iranians to enter into a new era to get stronger and stronger. And it's very clear that Israel will get a wealthier and stronger and internationally recognized adversary in the years to come. So now, all said and done, at least for the world economy, we all go back to normal. Hopefully, some of the prices that's gone up will come down, although prices are very sticky towards the down direction, but at least it won't keep going up. Hopefully, your air travels, your shipping, logistic costs, all this will start to fall, and the world will become a better place, at least for the short term. What will happen in the Middle East? Some of us will say it's none of our business, it's the Middle East. But in time to come, the clock is ticking. There may be a worry that Iran may do something worse. So I think Donald Trump lost big time, but he would have lost bigger if he had continued this path. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, as I'll see you later in the live stream.